kick-off just moments away. The players running out onto the field, so we'll hand it over to your commentary team for this one. Alana Ferguson, Brad Fittler and Brenton Speed.
Thank you, Emma, and it's a cracking day in the nation's capital.
I spoke to a couple of the girls during the week, and look at Emma Tonegado right now. She's excited to play, but yeah, they're all pumped just to get out there and play some footy in the capital.
They had their awards night on Thursday, and Tiana Penitani won the Player of the Year prize.
Isn't that so deserving? She has been next level. I think with that C next to her name, she's truly taken the captaincy under her belt and just been unbelievable this season for the Sharkies.
So game one of our doubleheader to close out the regular season is underway. Straight to Tegan Dimmick, who brings it back with purpose. Usually good for 20 minutes or so from the start is Tegan. And there's the player that was so close to claiming that Player of the Year prize, Anessa Biddle. And what a start to this ball game for the Rookie of the Year for the Sharks.
Yeah, if you haven't watched much of the Sharks play, keep an eye out for Anessa Biddle. She is an absolute machine.
Also won their Players Player Award, and here's their top try scorer so far this season, the front rower. That's some achievement by Ellie Johnston with 4 meat pies. And now Penitani trying to slip on the outside, but good luck doing that against Toya Hiku, who's a fabulous defender. Now back to Tonegado. Good meters here for the Sharks on their first set. Holly Wheeler takes them down near enough to the 20-metre line here. Plays it on the last. And the kick to come from Preston towards the wing of Ravix. And comes down with it here. What about the flick pass for Biddle? And out the back again for Preston now. It remains the last. Can they score here? Yes, they can! What a phenomenal opening set from the Sharks.
That's outstanding from the Sharks, and that set to kick the game off was brilliant.
It started with Tegan Dimmick. They went out to their Player of the Year, Penitani, and come back through the middle, Taylor Preston, as she's done all year. Beautiful kick.
And may have been obstructing a player or two, but not called. And Preston converts her first try of the season.
They need to get some line speed at the moment. Cronulla are just dictating terms, just getting over the advantage line. And the Parramatta side is just on their heels. They need to defend this set.
That was the only tackle they were able to get the player on her back in that set. Just held on a little too long. Got to work on that wrestle a little bit more.
Oh, Dimmick storms over and has her first try in the NRLW in her 14th game. What a start here from Cronulla. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, once again, the Parramatta defence are just not coming off the line, and she scored the second try to take it out to 10-0. Kept her eyes on the ball, broke a couple of feeble tackles, and just adjacent to the upright.
The hooker, Quincy Dodd, did a really good job to re-straighten before that pass.
12-0. Foliaki now, another former Eel. Played in that grand final last year for Parramatta against Newcastle. Wheeler, shaped to go to Dimmick. Plays it just a couple of metres out. Johnston, try number 5 of the season. So hard to stop, that close to the line.
Yeah, that was a little bit too easy for the Cronulla Sharks, just going straight through the defence of the Eels. But I think they were a little bit worried about what the halves were doing in the background. They had Taylor Preston that had her hands on the ball, and then Quincy Dodd kept things nice and simple, a nice little hit and spin.
Gave them that bit of steel in the middle, Parramatta. Got them to a grand final last year.
And they're beating the clock convincingly here. And they've taken it 20 metres in from the touchline, not the centrefield scrum where Tonegado's done so much damage normally, but plenty of room to exploit for Taylor. And now Staples on the outside of Hutt. What about the turn of speed? Oh, Cassie Staples tries in back-to-back games for Cronulla. Sealed the result against the Dragons on Thursday night and opens up a big lead here.
Yeah, it was obviously a set play from the Cronulla Sharks, creating that space. They had 5 attackers out there, but so many threats in their attacking line. But they held up the defenders with their threats. Emma Tonegado gets the footy and calls Anessa Biddle under, and then Jada Taylor comes into the equation. The key was giving Cassie Staples that early ball. She was then able to get on the outside of Hunt and did it brilliantly with her pace, but they had all their attacking threats out there on that edge and then gave Staples nice and early ball so that she could use her biggest weapon, which is pace. She did it very nicely to polish off that set play.
There are the Titans. Riley Jorgensen doesn't have the headgear on yet. She's got the cap on, got the shades as well.
Oh, she means business.
She does.
Tonegata. Oh, lovely pass, trying to put Penatani through a hole, but once again it's cult hero Riley Jorgensen, the teenager in her first season, Freddie's favourite.
Yeah, you got Freddie to thank for that close-up, Riley.
Crossfield from Preston. Oh, Rabbits! Wow. What a half from Cronulla. And the highlight from Georgia Rabbits, a regular try scorer since breaking into NRLW.
Yeah, it's a brilliant kick as your teammates are getting there. Her kick game has been an absolute highlight of the Sharks season this year. Taylor Preston and Georgia Rabbits comes through, the hands above the head. Doesn't quite get it the first take, but her eyes stay on the ball. Look at that, Jada Taylor, not Jada Taylor. Taylor Preston flies above the pack.
Catch the ball.
Catch the ball.
She caught the ball. The other thing I like about that is there are numbers, Sharks numbers, around the ball. She had plenty of support. Speaking about how she was leaning back, Taylor Preston right over the ball there. Great kick, good kicking action.
Clever kick by Preston to target that side of the ground, and Rabbits was the beneficiary. See when they go that way again here with Donovan on the wing. And Murphy now in the centres on that side. They go left though for Taylor. Oh, Jada Taylor! Dragged down just by Toi Hiku. Avoided the hip drop as well. Terrible pass by Tonegata. Dodd had to improvise. And Butler from a standing start. Able to keep her feet. Tonegata, Preston. There is Murphy defending at centre and doing a fabulous job.
She's an Australian Sevens player.
Keep going that way. For Biddle, tough to stop here. It is all one-way traffic in Canberra. And Anessa Biddle has had a great season and now finally her first try.
Gets up, takes that couple of steps, draws in the marker, and then early ball to Anessa Biddle. But that whole set, they just earned the right to have those quick play the balls. They stay on their front.
And the conversion attempt from Preston add 2 more points. Siren about to sound at GIO Stadium. And that'll do us. Terrific performance from the Cronulla Sharks in search of their 4th win of the season. Right on top here. They lead 34 points to 0. Anderson plays it. And Dodd links up with Harata Butler this time. Go right or left. Comes back to the open side for Wheeler. Kennedy Cherrington board on that dummy.
Yeah, it was the right option. She had people with her and the footy in 2 hands. That defence were just holding off and waiting.
Look at the space here for Dodd. Thought the dummy might be on for the dummy half there to go under the post potentially. It's still on here for Anderson. Inventing a kick for Saunders. How smart a footy player is Brooke Anderson?
She's a brilliant footy player, Brooke Anderson. Very versatile. She can move around in different roles. She's playing in the middle of the field and she's always had that grubber kick. She's got a history of playing Oztag, so she's certainly nailed for that from Holly Wheeler. Set them up, got them this quick play the ball where Quincy Dodd jumps out, finds Emma Tonegata that got away that nice little offload. But the vision from Brooke Anderson here and that last little bit of footwork to get into the space between the back rower and Berryman Duff, and she just puts in a lovely little kick that pops up perfectly. Look at this footwork, just to make sure that she could get that kick away.
And Preston adds the extras. 16 and 17 have been cooking that up on the bench. Seemingly Anderson and Saunders. immediately. Now Wheeler trying to put Anderson through a hole, and Boss Kapua nailed it.
Ribs lying on Geo Stadium. First it was Boss.
Here comes Emma Tonegado. Oh, big hit again. They found something. Toy Hicker this time. Points have dried up a little in recent times. What about the handling from Ellie Johnston? A gifted footy player.
Wow, look at that. The Westpac red zone. Sharks 23 play the ball.
Oh, spins out of it. They've got leftovers from being former teammates, those two, Anderson and Kennedy Cherrington. And help yourself to a double. Ellie Johnston. 44 now for Cronulla.
Quick enough, and then Johnson backs right up. She's in a position to go again, and she's famous for that hit and spin. She does it so well, but that close to the line. Very hard person to stop.
Unstoppable.
18-point haul, and Taylor Preston levels Chelsea Baker. And plenty of time to break that record.
She's gone. Hard to practice as well, I'm assuming.
It's a credit to her to turn up on the weekends and be ready to go after a grueling schedule, working as a fitter in the mines. Chased her rugby league dream all the way from Hay to Wollongong, and now Parramatta's number 7, Rachel Pearson. Here she is, Naitonka Tonka. And look at all those tackle breaks again from Anessa Biddle, leading that category today. They're going her way. Here she is trying to break one more, and there is history for Cronulla. The first team in NRLW history to bring up 50.
Other side of the field, supports are inside. There's Emma Tonegado. You got Biddle going straight, and you got people around the back.
Johnston and Dimmick made her feel it. Church, creative. And Taylor left it behind for the ultimate consolation try.
We see here on the Harvey Norman replay on that short side, you can see those 4 defenders on the left edge coming up, and Jada Taylor.
Pearson drives it, sorted out the win this time. What a kick.
Nails it. Then we need to go to the bunker to see if Zali's just ran off the sideline. It's come from nowhere, straight off the bench.
Some kind of recovery. That ankle's come good. We're doing a sports science study on Zali Faye's miracle recovery here from an ankle tweak. About 45 minutes or so of actual time to come good, but she's moving pretty well. So too Naitoka Toka skipping out of a tackle. Dodd. Oh, Johnston. Oh, look at the pass to the winger. Ellie Johnston is a freak of a front rower. And Ravick scores again. But what about that? Ellie Johnston. All the skills for Cronulla's number 8.
Bing Harbour Bridge cuts out 2.
Right record, and this time she has it. The records fall in the nation's capital. Taylor Preston has 20 points of the 56 scored by Cronulla today. The most points scored in an NRLW game, the biggest winning margin. And Taylor Preston into the record books as well, as she knocks Chelsea Baker out, who'd been there since the second game all time of NRLW back in 2018.